But I'm really excited about the conversation we're about to have when we come back in just a bit on Culture Kitchen. Stuart Nash, the legendary Stuart Nash, is a director, and of course Gadwil Odhiambo, assistant director. And these guys are working on a play. Yes, Bildad Kaggia, John C.B. Okumu's play. Yeah, so it's about freedom, a freedom fighter who chose integrity over power. So Bildad Kaggia, the Kenya that could have been. Stuart is back. Yeah. How are you doing, Stuart?
I'm very good, and thanks for having us back again.
I told you I was going to invite you again.
You did.
And I kept my word.
You did. Thank you very much for that. You too.
Awesome. And also Gadwil Odhiambo, he's in the building. He's, of course, Stuart is a director. You guys know Stuart. Gadwil is the assistant director of this amazing play, Kaggia, the Kenya that could have been. It's a play that was written by the one and only John C.B. Okumu. Guys, this is amazing. So initially, while you were here, Stuart, we're talking about the amazing work that you did on Dedan Kimathi's life. Good job, man.
Thank you. Thanks
so the turnout was amazing. That's what I heard. That's what you told me.
It was really, but it was amazing. It was like sold out like 10 out of 12 shows.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you expect that?
Not that much. I didn't expect that level of attendance, but it was, and we had to turn loads of people away as well.
Yeah.
So,
really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Very sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they'll come. We're doing it again.
Yeah.
So
is it?
Next year. So we just run out of time for this year because we had these dates and we wanted to do a different play.
Yeah.
Now, but it was really, really nice.
I like that. So obviously, what's in the works is the life of Bildad Kaggia. This play by John C.B. Okumu. So let's just get right into it. What do you think inspired Okumu to write this play?
I think that, I know that he walked into a bookshop in Kaggia Street, and he saw an autobiography about Bildad Kaggia, and he bought it and he read it. What was it called? Roots of Freedom. Roots of Freedom. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess I don't know if this is the wrong thing to say, but I feel like Bildad Kaggia has kind of been overlooked a bit. There's not. If I asked you, tell me something about Bildad Kaggia that's not that he was one of the Kapenguria Six, and we did that. We asked a lot of people that in our research, and a lot of people couldn't tell us anything else apart from the fact that he was in the Kapenguria Six. So I think that inspired John to write the play. Do
you find it interesting that a lot of Kenyans don't know much about Bildad Kaggia?
I don't
so is it first of all, when you were talking to Kenyans, is it like older Kenyans or younger Kenyans?
Everything. And actually, most people under 25 don't actually know who he is at all.
Yeah, so that's Gen Z pretty much.
Yeah.
So
what was your question?
So was it surprising to you that they don't know much about...
I'll tell you what is surprising, that that people don't generally... there's not much known about anybody who was... or is a Kenyan hero, let me say, like, of any country, that there should be somebody who was so part and parcel of the independence movement, but people can't really. A lot of people can't tell you much about him.
My thing is, I think younger Kenyans don't really study much about their history. I think they live in the moment. Then they're really about current events.
I get that, but if you mentioned Tom Mboya, Dedan Kimathi, they would know those people. And this guy was a massive part of the independence movement, and I don't know. It feels. I feel like it's really nice that this play has been written so that people can know more about him, and it's really full of such interesting facts about his life. Was honestly just so. I'm not just saying this because it's our play, but somebody tried to poison him. There was, stuff like that people don't know.
Yeah, it's true. So why theatre as opposed to directing like a film or documentary?
Because it was a play, and actually I saw this play about 4 years ago. Martin Kigondu was in it, and he's doing it for us actually. And I thought it was the best play I'd seen for ages.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to do it at some point. And this opportunity came up to do it, and John's a friend of mine, so I said, look, we want to do this play. And he actually thought we were talking about October next year, so he was very blasé about it and thinking, why are they panicking about doing it so and starting, research and everything? Because we only started about 2 months ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So so I just wanted to do it. I knew we were going to. Actually, Gadwin and I were looking for a period next year to do it, but we've already got 3 plays booked for next year, and we couldn't really fit it in. And this opportunity came up, so we did it.
Awesome. So I'm just curious, creatively, what freedoms do you have directing it on theatre, as opposed to if you chose to write a book or do a documentary or a film?
I guess with something like this, it's by an obviously the writer is alive and here and in Nairobi.
It's true.
And he it's you have to try to talk to him to allow us to do changes. So some of them we've discussed, and he's like, I get it, writers don't want their work messed around with, but if you can present a convincing idea why something maybe should be changed a bit, then generally they'll listen. But totally different to Ngugi, who obviously was in California and we just spoke to on the phone. It's been an interesting ride.
That's amazing. So Gadwil,
Yes.
Kaggia, man, he stood for some amazing things. He had serious integrity and principles.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so obviously he stood against corruption, land grabbing, and it cost him political power.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm just curious, as you guys are directing this thing and shooting the whole story, what parts stood out for you when it comes to his principles and what he stood out, what he stood for?
Actually, just like you said, him being one of the Kapenguria 6, you'd expect, since we all fought for the freedom, we all fought for our people. Once we get out, let's continue with the fight. Let's all still stand together and continue with the fight. But then that was not the case. And then if you look at the history, he's the only one who is isolated.
Exactly.
He's the one who died in poverty. That's for me. That's an interesting part. But then it's very depressing for me, because I feel, then what was the point? What was the point of all the time in detention? What is the point of the fight, even before they were arrested? For you to change your mentality later. So
I'm curious, in the story, the way you guys are directing it, how do you portray the tension between Kaggia and Jomo Kenyatta? Like, how does it come out, man? For me, I know it's not just basically good versus evil. There must have been a story behind it, because I'm sure if Kenyatta was here, he would have justified whatever he did. Probably. You never know.
I feel like with John, it's very tricky to. If it was just like any other play, we do our different additions and all. We could have made it 2 scenes just for them, for the 2 of them. But then the script has that particular scene with the factual things that he said to him. Like, what have you done for yourself? So we just try to maybe put more weight to those questions, put more weight to that scene, because then the creative freedom again, it's there, but we don't want to change it so much so that we drift so much from the book and the play.
So you can feel the tension between the two.
We can feel. We even before we started directing, we were asking ourselves, why wouldn't he have extended the scene and added in more dialogue? But then,
So when I was doing my research, preparing for this conversation with yourself and Stuart, so I found out that there's a guy called Wanyoike. Wanyoike is apparently the guy who allegedly was sent by Kenyatta to kill Kaggia. Yeah, right. That's what Kaggia says in one of those documentaries. So is there a scene where Wanyoike is probably trying to kill Bildad in the play, in the story? Are we going to see that?
I guess you'll have to come and find out.
Okay, so you're going to leave us in suspense. Fine. Okay, no problem. Yeah. And what about the church that he formed? Yeah, that's a Dinia Kaggia. Yeah, so how does that play out?
From as I understand it, it's not something that he looked for. It was something that the people around him wanted to happen. So he didn't even want it. It was called, what was the name of the church? They called it something.
It's called Dinia Kaggia.
Yeah. But I don't think he even wanted it to be called that, did he?
Yeah, because it's not.
Yeah. So it was not something that he really looked for it to happen. A lot of the play goes from 1940 to 2005, so it covers a lot of episodes, and so how can I say, it's more there are some episodes that are dealt in depth. I took, like, for example, the relationship he had with his wife, which was a really lovely love story. Things like that. His daughter, Jomo Kenyatta, other bits, and some of them are mentioned, and some of them you see it all happen when he was incarcerated and doing hard labour. That's shown, but not the church is not actually one of the parts that's shown, but it's discussed.
I'm curious, the tension that he had with the former president, did it affect his family life? We're going to have to watch it.
I feel like
Stuart, you're going to tell us something.
Don't give me all the inside questions.
You're exposing the show. Well, yeah,
it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, there was a massive effect.
Yeah. Can you imagine? All right.
According to John.
Yeah.
All right. Another question I want to ask is Bildad Kaggia. Like you said earlier, he ended up living a very humble life.
Yeah.
Turns out that he worked in a Porsche mill.
Yeah, he owned a Porsche mill.
He owned a Porsche mill, but it was his own. Yeah.
Yeah. So, was it surprising to you that he actually led this kind of life?
It was.
Yeah.
It was like, I still can't put my head around why a hero like him.
Yeah. But he lived that life because he stuck to his principles, didn't he?
Yeah. But then
it was an honourable.
You'd think it would be the opposite. Like, if you stick with your principles, then life will be better for you. But then
life's not fair, though, is it?
It turns out it's not fair. Exactly.
Fate happened.
Yeah.
Isn't it? So I would describe him as a tragic hero. Who ended up being, I don't want to say sacrificed, but let's just say fate. He ended up, I don't know, for some reason, the powers that be were very insecure about Bildad, especially when he started working with Jaramogi Oginga Odinga.
Yeah.
When they formed the party. What's that party?
Is it KPU?
KPU.
Yeah, isn't it? Yeah. All right, so let's take a short break and then we come back with this conversation. Remember, we're talking all things Bildad Kaggia, the Kenya that could have been. This is a play by John C.B. Okumu, but now the one and only legendary Stuart Nash, he's working on it. He's been directing it, working side by side with a brother called Gadwill Odhiambo, who is the assistant director. If you have a process of directing this play, can be sensitive, especially when you're doing your research, when you're asking guys questions, trying to get more information, sensitive because you're a white man. Right?
Yeah.
And we know the story. The story is especially to do with land, the colonial injustices that people like the Bildad Kaggia went through, and the Kapenguria 6. So, did you have any challenges directing this play or story?
Not really.
Simply because of, obviously, your race and the past?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, look, we just go for, firstly, let me say that we go for authenticity. And however people were, that's how we show them. There's no sanitizing or...
Yes.
We do that with all the plays. Dead in Kimathi, we did it. Even Sarafina, the film was kind of Hollywoodized to some way. When Sarafina was in the film electrocuted for like 2 seconds and then it's over, that was obviously for Hollywood film. So we extended that scene actually, and we had her really being tortured properly. We showed Mary Masumbuko being drowned. So, and similar for this, if people did, whatever people did, that's what we show. However good or bad it is. And that's our motto through everything that we do. That's our approach to everything.
Yeah. Why do you think Bildad Kaggia's story hasn't been shared or documented that much?
Honestly, I don't know the answer to that.
Okay.
Gadwill?
Yeah.
I feel like it's one of those, if for example you take Ngugi wa Thiong'o, the things he spoke about.
Yeah.
So I feel like during then, the dangerous times. People had to be careful the things they had to say. Yeah. And then if they found out maybe you said this about the regime or about the government, probably it was removed out of your history and maybe you were killed or assassinated and things like that. So I feel like there was more opportunity to tell it, but it's just the time.
Yeah,
the time of telling it was just dangerous.
Yeah. So the issues Kaggia fought for, land, justice, equality, all these things, pretty much they remain unsolved till today, right? So what does this say about Kenya 60 years on after independence?
I feel like I love this about like most of the shows we do, like Dead in Kimathi, Kaggia. It leaves the audience with a question to think about the Kenya now and the Kenya then. So every member of the audience walks out with the question, what have we done for ourselves, or
Yeah.
has anything really changed, or what am I going to do to change, or
It's
how am I going to
true.
be part of the solution?
Especially for younger folks.
So what we're doing is presenting the question to the people: are you part of the solution or part of the problem?
I like that.
Yeah.
You know, when I was, just watching the bit of information or content to do with Bildad Kaggia, apparently there's a part where, so first of all, he considered Jomo Kenyatta to be a traitor.
Yeah.
Like the biggest betrayer ever when it comes to the fight for independence, right?
Yeah.
So when Jomo Kenyatta married a Mzungu, that time when he was in Scotland, right? Bildad was so mad, yeah, and he said that the fact that Jomo Kenyatta married a Mzungu went against the beliefs of the Kikuyu Central Association. While you were directing the story, do you think Kaggia was justified to refer to Jomo Kenyatta as a traitor?
For that reason.
For that,
And many other reasons, of course.
I don't know.
maybe for many other reasons, maybe for many other reasons, and not that particularly.
Okay, so there's that. So there's that reason for him starting a family with a white man, with a white person, sorry. And then of course there's issues of the lands not being
distribution
redistributed. Apparently there's also monies that that Jomo Kenyatta was given, but he didn't really share it with the Kapinguri 6 guys.
The personal greed. Yeah.
So apart from marrying the Mzungu lady, and those are the stories, do you think that was a reason enough for Bildad to refer to Jomo Kenyatta as a traitor?
Yeah, I think I would.
Yeah.
Being with my friend and a colleague for years and years fighting, and then all of a sudden you decide to stand for other things.
Yeah.
But then, like the script says, it shows you two sides of the coin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe he would have chosen to go with what Kenyatta stood for. He would have been, welfare.
Yeah.
But that's it.
So what, Stuart? What risks did you take?
In terms of,
when it comes to directing this whole play, is there any challenges that you went through?
not with the story.
Yeah.
In terms of. The biggest challenge, and this is a really boring answer, I'm sorry for this, but is the set. The set is really massive. It's like 8 meters by 7 meters, and the whole thing is on a revolve. So basically, the whole thing turns round on the so the set that we have, the whole set turns round on the stage.
Yeah.
And that apparently that's never been done at the National Theatre before. So
Interesting.
yes.
That watched this play, what do you think his feedback would have been?
Wow.
Stuart.
I think as long as we are true and authentic, then hopefully he would have been happy with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm coming to, because I'm not Kenyan, I'm not coming to this with any agenda at all. I'm just doing this because it's a good play. So I don't feel torn either way. Whatever is in that play, to me, as long as we do it authentically and truthfully, that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't choose a play with a massive agenda. I don't think.
No, we've never done that.
It's for the art.
It's the
not
time.
for any other reason.
It's just for the art.
Yeah.
That's interesting. What are some of the concerns that some of the people who you've worked with have raised, for example?
About this play?
Yeah.
None really.
Do you care about reviews then? Or as a director?
No, but obviously I do care about reviews. But most of the reviews we have are pretty favourable. Yeah, so we haven't had any reviews where somebody's come and seen one of our plays and said, "Oh, it's dreadful."
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're very aware that we put such a lot of time and effort into all of our plays to make sure they are as good as they can possibly be. And it's
was it easy finding the right characters to play some of these roles?
No, I find I always say this, Gadwal's heard this a million times, but I think casting is really, really important. And a director once said to me that, if you cast the right people in the roles, you won't have to really do very much. And it's absolutely true. When we did Dead in Kimathi, we had Bilal Mara playing that, and he was just perfect. I didn't really, apart from just walk over there at this point, that kind of direction. I didn't have to tell him anything. Same with Martin Kiondu, who's playing Kaggia.
Yeah.
Same with, like, we've really worked with some. We're lucky enough, and honestly, it's such a privilege to work with these top flight actors, like those. Wakiom Zeng is another one that has been another actor that's been in a lot of our plays. Yeah, so
that's interesting.
Yeah.
So where do you foresee this whole theatre space? And how do you see it playing out, say, in the next 5 years? Because you told me the play for Dedan Kimathi, you sold about 4,500 tickets. Yeah. Very impressive. Yeah. So do you think Kenyans they're becoming more interested in stage plays, theatres?
Yeah, I really do. And there are some really top-notch producers out there at the moment, like the one that springs to mind is Too Early for Birds. They did a play based on Tom and Boyer that sold thousands of tickets as well at Jane Barvin. They've done it a couple of times. There are some really good practitioners out there, so I think we're in a good time for theatre, as I see it anyway.
If you look at the kind of audience that are going to the theatre now, you wouldn't say that it's a generational change. You see, it's like an older audience still coming in, so you can't say that it's because of the generation that changed.
So it's true, actually,
really changing. Yeah.
And another thing I would add is that some of the times we get questions that are probably don't come from seasoned theatre go. They're new audiences, and that's really important that we're bringing in new people that have never been to the theatre before. And sometimes with the questions that they ask, because it's not an experience they've had before, we know they're a new audience. So that's a real buzz that we're bringing new people into the theatre. That's lovely.
Yeah, it's true. Godwill, do you think Kenyans have failed Kaggia simply because we've forgotten some of the sacrifices that he made and some of the things that he stood for? Do you think we failed men like Kaggia, Dedan Kimathi, people we regard to be heroes?
Yeah.
Do you think we failed them 60 years on?
I would say probably, if the leadership was in the position to change that, but they didn't. For the people, it depends on what we were fed. Like me being in high school, I just knew Bildad Kaggia's Kapenguria 6. I wish I knew all this information that I know now. Then probably I would have done something, or maybe would have done plays or done Kaggia as a theatre play, then to show the world what our heroes did for us. But I feel like the people who are in that position to help us change that notion didn't do anything for us.
It's true. And you guys are actually adding so much value by directing such plays. And also shout outs to John C.B. Okumu, man. You know what I mean? For documenting a story like this. Now, you know what? One thing about this show, After Hours, is that I allow my guests to speculate and imagine worlds. You know, the story for Bildad Kaggia and the Kapenguria 6. We all know that they worked at the quarry when they were, of course, in prison. And then Jomo Kenyatta was mostly in the kitchen. He was a cook. But at some point, he complained due to the heat.
I know where this is going.
Yeah, right? He complained a lot, and he said the heat was just too much. Yeah, and because of his age, maybe it was going to affect his health. And then Kaggia says in the documentary that, they were praying for him, and then eventually they decided to go and face the authorities, and they asked them to release, to transfer Jomo Kenyatta to do some other duty. So do you think if Jomo Kenyatta wasn't transferred and he was, if they let him stay in the kitchen, do you think he would have made it out alive? Godwill?
Probably sick.
And probably he wouldn't have ended up being president.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
So that shows you the kind of person Bildad was.
Yeah.
Because he was the one who initiated that conversation. He said, Mzee is suffering in the kitchen. Yeah, he's cooking vizuri, but he's going to collapse in there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's the little things, we just don't know the day-to-day life that they led over there at the quarry and in the prison. But it's the little sacrifices that he made. I wish we had those details.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay, final question. You're a Gen Z, right?
No.
Are you a Gen Z?
No, I'm a millennial.
Nah, no way. Okay, you look like a Gen Z.
Yeah.
So obviously we're in a revolutionary space right now as Kenyans. What do you think this play, this story, how do you think it's going to inspire Kenyans right now? Because they say we're in a transition.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost as if Kenyans, they can foresee a future. It's not exactly clear where we're headed towards. Yeah, but what sort of impact do you think this play is going to have in the minds of younger Kenyans or Kenyans generally? Yeah.
Okay, I was going to break it down academically. It will get more people to read about our heroes. It will get more people to do research about the freedom fighters. People like Dedan Kimathi. There's information that maybe some people don't know. So it will give an opportunity for people to come out and say, oh, but then this and this happened to this guy. And everyone will be like, oh, I didn't know that information.
Yeah.
So it's opening up. It's opening up our people to think outside the box. People to reflect on what freedom fighters stood for, and is that what they want to stand for now, or is that the change they want to bring now? It's like people say city the numbers and all that. So are they willing to stand by that word?
It's true. Wow, that's amazing. Beautiful stuff, guys. Thank you so much for coming through. Any last words, Stuart?
Just people should come and see it. I think they'll be really... All the information in that play is really interesting. That sounds so boring. It's not really selling it at all, is it? But no, honestly, it's a really nice play. And come and see the set, if nothing else.